Hi everyone, it's Bridget with Bees Altered Designs. I am coming to you with a quick show of how I made those flowers that were on my book stack project. I had one of my subbies comment that she didn't quite catch that whole video, that whole process because I fast forwarded it. So I'm going to give you a quick overview, and I've already started cutting out flowers because I'm doing a Valentine's Day project. So I've already started and I'm finishing up here, but this is one that I use. I use this. I have little punches that I use, that I cut. This one is my favorite out of all the punches. That Tim Holtz Alterations die that I just showed you is another one of my favorites for little tiny flowers. Diamond dies. And this one, this Tim Holtz one. I don't use the bigger ones a lot unless I want to make bigger flowers. But these flowers are really good. Oh, and also this little punch too, that style. So these flowers would be really good for scrapbooking pages. I don't have one of those long cutting things for this. I actually got this Big Kicks. I used to have the old red one with the handle, and I got this one. I gave it to my 6-year-old grandson because I'm telling you, when he was 2 and 3, he used to love playing with that thing and cutting out all those little shapes and stuff. But I gave that all to them to play with. And I also took my thing apart. I do have the thing that goes in it, but it's just so much easier for me to stack them instead of trying to flip the book open, especially when I don't have one of these long things. Anyways, so I am just cutting shapes out. Where are all my shapes? Oh, I think I mixed them. This will be my last shape. And I like to use two-sided scrapbooking paper. It doesn't matter what weight you use. I find the thinner weight is the easiest to use to make these flowers. But you can use any weight of the scrapbooking paper. So let me just get this stuff moved out of my way. And fix that one. Put that back over here. And then all those. And then for glues, you can use, I sometimes use this depending on how quickly I want them done, because this will dry slower than hot glue. So I do use the hot glue. Glossy accents. For the centers of my flowers, I will use bling, any kind of bling. I pick these apart. So these I got, Sawcrafter sends them in her packages that when you purchase something. So I will pick them apart. But anyways, I don't know if you can see over here. I'll just bend this a little. I have cut out a whole bunch of different styles of flowers. Okay? And some of the tools, you know, have a pair of scissors handy just in case. Tweezers, I like to use tweezers. These rounded pliers are good. And one of these, you can use a paintbrush, something that's rounded and smooth at the end. And I am going to ink up some of the edges on these, and I know I have some that are already inked. So basically all I do is after I ink the edges, and let me just start with a flower here. So after I ink the edges of the flowers, and I do apologize to my subby Brenda who didn't quite catch the whole how to make these flowers. They're super simple. I mean, they're just, it's basically just layering different size flowers on top of each other and then just playing with the petals until you have them bent the way you want them. So here I've picked out a few sizes I will probably do, and different papers. And what I like about the two-sided paper is you can flip the, you know, you can flip over the paper, so you're really getting more cutouts because it's two different sides and you can use either side. So I've just got like 4. I find that the more you layer, the nicer the flower comes out. Then what I do, I am on camera, I just use this and do that. This just breaks up the threads in the flower. I'm not sure what I'm going to use here, so I'm going to do a couple of these. So then what I do is, I think I'm going to do this side. And I'm going to use my heat gun for this. So just put a little bit there. Put your first flower on here. Oh, I do have one here. Now all it is just layering. You know, what you find you like best. It's all personal preference. So you just use a little bit of glue. Try to use a little bit because you want your petals to be able to move when you start to bend the petals up and down to make them look more realistic. So this is just something that I made from my punches. All of these petals came from the punches that I showed you. And then you just want that to dry, you know, to cool off a little bit. And then you can play with the petals. So I'm going to move this aside. So my other petals, to make bigger ones, this is the Diamond Dyes petal. So I'm just going to make it a little bigger. So I'm going to use this as my base flower. And then I'll take let's see, let's do, I think this is one of the Tim Holtz ones. I shouldn't say I think, I know it is. And then just make that so it curls up. And that will go nicely right there. And then next, maybe I'll do one of these. And you don't have to roll these. I mean, if they're usually little enough where you can just use your fingers to work with them to get them to bend, do what you want with them. And then I just want to put something small in the center of that. So I think I'm going to go with this one. And that's it. So, and then what you want to do is you either take, you want to put your bling in. I find that using the clear, these clear ones, it makes them pop more. So I'm just going to use this one. I don't know why this dries up so fast. Oops. This has something on the bottom of it. Or this has glue here. Of course, only when I do a tutorial I have issues. You know what? It's going to be loud for a minute. Okay, you know, that's okay. We're just gonna stick this on here. I think it'll be fine. It's just there's a gob of glue right there, and it's kind of glossy accents and hot glue just don't mix together. They really don't. I don't know if it's because glossy accents is too wet of a product. I just don't know. They just don't work well together. And you know, sometimes when I use them instead of my E6000, I will hear it bubble. I will hear it like sizzling when I put the hot glue on the glossy accents. I'm just bending my flowers up because I made a mess there. Get them a little bent now. And that's all I do. I just bend them in different directions to try to give them some you know, like a flower would be, their petals aren't always perfect on some flowers, so I just do that. And then you know what, I'm just going to hot glue. Actually, I don't like this one because it looks like it's got glossy accents all over it. So I'm going to cut another one. And this time I'm just going to use my hot glue gun. And pick this off of here. And by the time I get this picked off here, that hot glue is going to be cold. Okay. See that? And then you have that flower, and then this flower, do the same thing. See, that's this the glue strings you can do. That's why I use, if I have time with my project, I will use the tacky glue. So then there's that. So then all you're going to do is just play with your petals. I usually play with my petals before I put the bling on, because the bling is still wet. Okay. So that's that. You have flat flowers that are dimensional that you can put on your projects. And that's all there is to it. So I hope this helped people who didn't quite catch me doing them on my last project. So thank you for watching.